Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nathaniel and actually I'm a real estate agent with PropNext in Singapore. Right? So today what we're doing is actually I'm going to be sharing with you a guide on how to become a better buyer or seller in today's market. How I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to be sharing with you the three big V's in today's market that you need to know. So we're going to be talking about valuation today, and just to let you know the importance of knowing about valuation. Knowing what valuation stands for can actually help you to save maybe 5 to 10k, even more than that. Or more importantly, it actually gives you a sense of peace. Alright, it gives you a sense of peace when you are purchasing a property or selling a property that you're getting it for the right price. Today, we are going to be covering this topic of valuation from 3 angles. The first one being the purpose of valuation, the second being how it's generally done, and thirdly, the implication that this has on you as either a buyer or a seller. Alright, so let's get down to it. So firstly, we're going to be talking about its purpose. The purpose of valuation is actually really to give you an objective view of what the value of your property should be, right? And why this is important is actually because you have two different parties. You have a buyer and a seller, and these two parties have a different perception of what the value of a property is, right? The seller might think that, hey, my property has a really good view, so I should get like 30k more. And then this buyer is saying that, oh, yes, I see that you have a view, but I don't like it. I'm not gonna give you 30k more. In fact, I'm gonna give you 30k less. So yeah, that's why valuation is important. A third party comes in. So we're getting into how it's generally done, right? A third party, independent valuer, either from HDB or from a valuer company, will come in and say and be an objective third person in this conversation to say that, hey, look, I'm gonna give you a valuation for your property based on a certain fixed number of factors. Not so much your own individual perception of what the value of the property is, but an objective one. And this actually helps both the buyer and seller to agree on a price. This actually helps the deal to go through. This is why knowing the valuation of your property is a very essential part of your purchase or your sale. Now, the next thing is actually the implication that valuation has on both a buyer and a seller. More so, let me work from the buyer side first, right? If you are a buyer, how the valuation actually impacts you most significantly is how much loan the banks are willing to lend you in the event that you need to take a mortgage. How does this work? Alright, so banks, being the very careful institutions that they are only willing to lend you a loan based on the fair value of a property. They give you a loan to valuation, an LTV percentage of the valuation that is assigned to the property that you're looking to buy. If your property is $1 million and you have a bank loan to valuation of 75%, right? So you only be eligible for a loan of up to 750k. If the valuation of the property is not at 1 million and instead it is at 900k, your 75% is going to be based off the 900k, which means that the total amount of loan you can take is actually only 675k. So that is a difference of 75k, and this 75k leads to this term called cash overvaluation. This cash overvaluation is basically the amount that you have to pay in cash for the purchase of your property. And this sometimes can be a slight turn-off for you as a buyer because you don't have that upfront cash capital for the purchase. It is actually very important for the seller to understand this and not to overprice their properties. Imagine if you knew that the valuation of your property was 500k and you're trying to sell it at 750k. What are the chances that someone would have 250k in cash and be willing to pay it to you? And why this is important is because if you want to sell your property at a good price, you need to recognize a fair value for a property and you need to find a buyer who can appreciate it. If you put it at a wrong price, even if you find the best buyer, he's not going to put in a check for it or an offer for it, and you would lose this customer. So yeah, that is the general principle, and that is my 5-minute summary of what valuation is and its implications on you. Let me know if this video has been useful for you, and if it is, do leave a like and a subscription. I know I've just started this channel, but I would love to, I can promise you that I'll be creating more content like this, and I look forward to sharing with you more. So